So you're all set. You don't need me to show. So in your
Yeah, I
lab
think
in your lab notebook, that electronic notebook, we're gonna put everything there. So what would be your notebook, what would be working up your data, and then what would be your formal lab report type thing. Yeah.
okay.
Post lab questions go there. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, Victoria? Does that make sense? So it's a little bit softer because I'm not requiring like a full lab report. But I was like, they didn't do the lab. Like, so it didn't make sense for you to have to write a formal lab report on, you'll still have to work up the data and think about the whole process, but you shouldn't have to write a full lab report. You didn't even do it. So is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Allie, any questions about the syllabus? You're probably peeking at it now. If you didn't get a chance to watch that video does go through things pretty clearly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I looked at it. I just didn't watch the full video. So.
Okay, good. And Victoria, what about you? Do you have any questions about the syllabus? Are you peeking at it now or?
No, I have it up, but I looked through it before when I was watching the video.
Okay, good. So absolutely, if you have any questions about it or if things are unclear, did anybody catch my mistake in the syllabus?
The grading one? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so there's actually a math error. I said I have 4, what was it? 4 worksheets at 25.
Like
4 somethings at some points, and then I multiplied wrong. So I have to kind of figure out how that's going to add up to 1,000 because I multiplied wrong. But anyway, so it's fun to see if students catch that kind of stuff. What about the Moodle site? Has everybody been on the Moodle site and you're comfortable with it? Does it seem like it's going to be clear for you to kind of get through this semester?
Yeah, it's a nice website.
So it's kind of, I'm trying to keep it very organized and very ordered. And there's that kind of heading at the beginning of each section that'll tell you kind of exactly what you have to do. And you'll see that I'm only just a little bit ahead of you. So I can't post the whole semester stuff because I don't have all the videos ready. I'm actually working on those, as we speak. I'm going in this afternoon. I'm going to be right in that hood right there. Doing one of the experiments for later this semester. So good. So just really quick to kind of get to know you guys a little bit. I want to go around and I want you to tell me your favorite food and why. So something a little more serious. What is your learning style? Because organic chemistry sometimes really challenges people to really figure out how to learn. And you may have to learn things in a way that's very different from how you've learned before. So I know for me, my learning style is I'm an auditory learner. So if I'm reading something, I have to read it out loud if I'm going to really grasp it. I can't just read to myself silently and get it, usually, especially if it's something dense like chemistry. And so I'm definitely an auditory learner. I also like to kind of act things out. Like, so some of the organic reactions I have like E and Z and like, so I have all these like movements of my body. So I think I'm also a little bit of a, what is it called? A kinesthetic learner, where I'm acting out and dancing out and kind of learning that way.
I like to see it, and probably like, I'm assuming the molecular model kit will come in handy for that.
Yeah, definitely. I use the model kit all the time too, because that 3-dimensionality that happens in organic chemistry is, they often say like left side of the brain, right side of the brain, like that you need that artistic side, that 3-dimensional spatial stuff in order to really grasp it. I don't have that. Like, I'm definitely not that. And so when we get to the stereochemistry of how molecules are in their 3-dimension, I have to really, really focus to get that piece. And I have to like write things down, and I have to build the model actually to see it. I can't do it in my brain. But some people, the molecule in a three-dimensional form just pops off the page, and they're seeing it and they can feel it and they know which direction everything's going. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that you can do that, because I totally can't. So visual learner, that's good. So how are we going to use that? Molecular models. How else are we going to use that to succeed in organic? Can you
I'm
think?
assuming from the videos that you're recording, that would be way more helpful than just trying to theoretically think about a lab or
Okay,
just
good.
looking at data.
So actually seeing the reactions happen and stuff. Yeah. I guess when I say organic, I'm thinking both the lecture and the lab. So yeah, good. Allie or Bahi?
I think I'm definitely visual as well. And I like in chemistry, I'm better with, I draw a lot of things that helps me. And I also learn a lot by doing,
Yep.
which isn't really helpful. And
It is very
situation,
helpful.
but-
Not so much in the lab, but in the lecture, if you just write the reactions over and over, and then at some point just get out a
practice.
blank piece of paper and write it cold, that's
Mhm.
definitely going to help. Another
Yeah.
thing that might help too, Victoria, with the lecture primarily is flashcards if you're a visual learner. So writing them and then having these flashcards with like maybe the reaction on the front and then the answer on the back or something is really helpful as well. I used a lot of flashcards when I was getting through organic. Bahi, how about you?
I think I'm definitely a visual learner as well. And I usually practice a lot before I would like memorize something. I would just try to practice questions on it a lot until I understand it,
Perfect.
but not try to memorize things.
Perfect. In organic chemistry, there's tons of stuff online, practice problems and stuff. And so some of my pre-lab quizzes, those Moodle quizzes, are going to be straight from the video and straight from the sheets that I hand out. But other of them will be taking it a step further. And I'm okay if you Google and look it up if it helps you clarify some things. So so I just don't want anybody cutting and pasting anything ever from anywhere. I want everything to be your own words, but you can certainly, reference whatever you need. And if you take a substantial idea from someplace, just throw in a reference so that I can see that you did do that, kind of went above and beyond and went a little further than what I gave you. That would be good. So now this is going to be a little crazy. It's my first time trying this, but, and there's only 4, so it shouldn't take long, but I want each of you to ask a question of the rest of us. What would you like to know about us in terms of, I don't know, it might help you think about forming like a study group, or it might help you think about how people solve problems and things like that. So I'll give you a second, but I want you each to ask us a question, what you'd like to know about us.
I have one. Well, it might be kind of a moot point if you didn't major in science, but if you did have to pick a major that wasn't a science, what would it be? Like,
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So Bahi, what is your current major?
Biomedical engineering.
Okay, so if you didn't pick that, what would you pick?
That's a different question. Outside of sciences, might be something related to history, completely like outside of.
Completely different, yeah. Allie, what would your answer be? What was your major? Because you said you graduated.
Mine was biology, and I think I would choose like a foreign language. Like I did take French, but I think I would have majored in French. I wish I was better. I could speak a foreign language fluently. I think that would be interesting.
That would be cool.
Yeah, or like international business, something like that.
So mine is actually really easy, because when I went to college, my first bachelor's degree was in photography. I was working at Kodak, and it just like magically happened that I went back to school for chemistry. So I started off as photography and then ended up as chemistry. So Victoria, how about you?
I majored in psych, so I guess that's like a softer science.
So did you graduate
I don't know
already?
if that counts, like it's part of your question or not.
Did you graduate already?
Yeah.
And so are you going back
Yeah,
to the
so I'm doing like I'm
pre-
doing a pre-med post-bac.
pre-med, post-bac? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And so you did psych and now you're doing more sciencey.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Allie's done.
So I could ask this, since all of us have finished school. What made you guys decide on taking this course at Nazareth, and in terms of completing your post-bac or whatever program before medical school?
Because
Or
everybody's going back to get ready to go to med school, right? Yeah. So everybody needs organic. So why NAS?
Well, mine is a bad example because I was just kind of looking around for courses sort of this winter. I think it was in January, maybe. And actually, one of my best friends went to nursing school at NAS. So, and it came up, and it just kind of timing worked out, and I wanted to take it over the summer, and then it happened to be online, and then all this happened at once. So the timing worked out, and
So
I don't know if that's helpful at all.
Yeah. Before COVID, this class was going to be online, and the lab was going to be in person. You all know that.
Yeah.
But Dr. Teich had gone through and asked a whole bunch of local medical schools, like, would you accept this class online if the exams were in person and if the lab was in person? And they're like, yeah. So he had kind of gotten approval to have an organic online that was acceptable to medical schools. And now COVID, and so now it's completely online, and they're still accepting it. During this time frame, they're accepting it. So
Yeah, that's great.
Victoria, where did you get your degree?
I went to NYU, but I currently live in Pittsford, so Nazareth is right down the street. I went to Pittsford Sutherland High School, so like familiar with the area, and it was cheaper than U of R, so that's why I did it.
So when did you graduate?
A long time ago.
Bahi, what about you? How many years?
About 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been actually working in marketing, which has been a complete difference than what I studied and what I want to study, and decided I want to go back into the medical field.
That's awesome. So as soon as COVID's over, you should probably start getting some clinical.
I already had clinical, and I've been furloughed because of COVID, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
Just ruining everything.
I know, it's just changed everything, right? So, Bahi?
Yeah, I think I first started researching the different professors offering the courses, like at least here in Rochester. I'm from Fairport. So I definitely looked at U of R, NAS, and St. John Fisher. Yeah, I think that's all I looked into. Well, I don't think it was offered at RIT. So I think professor ratings wise, Dr. Teich had the highest numbers.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I talked to a couple med students at U of R who were NAS grads.
Shane?
Yes. Yeah, and he recommended taking it with Dr. Teich. So
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was going to teach the lab too, but all my summer stuff got canceled, and he's like, he threw me a bone to get a little extra money. So, and plus I was working on these videos already anyway, so it made sense.
Yeah.
What was your favorite course in your undergrad?
Probably all of my psych classes.
Did you have a favorite psych class?
I think personality was pretty interesting.
Did you have to take an abnormal psych class and then you go home and keep thinking you have everything?
Yeah, abnormal psych was cool too. I did some psych in grad school as well. I did about a year of my master's.
Cool. That'll help you with the whole human side of medicine too.
Yeah.
Are you thinking psychiatry, or are you thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What was your favorite undergrad class, Allie?
Um, I well, I probably liked my grad classes more than my undergrad, but undergrad I did go to Belize, so that was probably my favorite
Oh, that's
class.
awesome. And so what graduate program did you finish or are you working on?
I just did a year of a master's in bio, and
Where was that?
that in Pittsburgh at Chatham.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I did neuro, probably was my favorite, neuro or farm there. It was really
Cool.
interesting. Hmm.
So Bahi, you're a biomedical engineer. What was your favorite undergraduate course?
I had this class last fall. It was called quantitative physiology, where we sort of studied physiology from an engineering side of things. So like the cardiac system, we would study it from like a fluid dynamics engineering kind of view, and like neurons and the brain from like an electrical engineering
So
circuits and
engineering in the
resistors kind of
body.
things.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
sounds so cool.
so it was a weird class, but it was great. It was very interesting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now what was your least favorite? And then we can be done.
Least favorite class would be it was an electrical engineering signals and systems class. That was
Just like the math was out of the, or did it not make sense?
yeah, it was like Fourier transforms and just stuff that doesn't really exist in real life. So it's just really hard to connect with and understand that dimension of math.
Except in one of my videos, I actually say Fourier transform, but that's just because it's on the instrument.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
FTIR and FT, the NMR does it too because it
Yeah.
comes with this kind of signal and then it goes
Yeah.
into
The
this whoop, whoop.
frequency
Okay.
domain to
Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah.
domains. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll have you lecture on that part. But for me, it's like the instrument does it. We're good. Cool.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to do by hand. So it's
Cool.
difficult.
And what was your least favorite class? Allie,
All right.
Probably Calc 2. That
was
was
mine.
not fun.
Victoria, what's your least favorite?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Calc 2 as well.
Okay, so I think we're good. It seems like I'm setting it up that everything is due either Thursday at 5, and that was all the stuff that I'm imagining you do like the beginning of the week. And then the second set is due Tuesday at 5. So our lab is supposed to have met Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm making sure you have everything you need on Tuesday morning to complete by Thursday night. And then I'll make sure you have everything by Thursday morning to complete for Tuesday night. So does that make sense? So Tuesday and Thursday are the days that you have stuff due here. And I'm turning the Moodle quiz off at that time as well. So the Moodle quiz will be turned off at that time, 5 p.m. Victoria, you weren't on the call when I announced that for the quizzes, if you type in an answer that isn't exactly the same words that I used for the answer, then you'll get it wrong. But I'm going to go back in and manually give you credit for probably most. They're not hard quizzes. It's really just to make sure that you've read the experiment and that you've watched the video. So is there anything else you guys need from me? My office hours are Tuesday in the morning right now, which is good for the 3 of you, but not for the other 2. And then my second office hour is going to be Thursday afternoon from 3 to 4. And that works for both of the other 2. So you can just let me know that you're coming to the Zoom and I will, I'll meet you there. And I have an iPad so I can do writing and explain things to you, or I, also like hold things up, and so please feel welcome to come and talk to me. You'll see, I'm going to actually be doing some lecturing the spectroscopy piece of the course has been put into the lab. So if you look at the syllabus, we have Thursday this week is infrared. And so the video's all posted, but there's a video on the theory of infrared, and then there's a video on the actual using the instrument. And so, and then the worksheet is going to be a combination of theory and actual interpretation of IR. So definitely take a look at that worksheet before Thursday at 3. And if you need me, just meet me at Google at my Zoom, and I can help you through that. That IR worksheet is probably the most difficult one of the whole semester, just because it's right at the very beginning. You don't know a lot of organic yet, and I'm pushing you pretty hard in terms of thinking about things already. So definitely take a look at that worksheet before Thursday at 3, and if you need me, just let me know. And then I hope you all have your model kits in time for next Thursday. So it'd be the 28th of May, because on that day, you'll need your model kit to do the experiment.
All right, which day again?
May 28th.
Okay.
So a week from Thursday, so a week and a half away. Again, they won't be due until Tuesday, so you have the whole weekend, but there is a requirement for a model kit on that day.
Okay.
And that should be the only time that you have to have the model kit for the lab, but I know Dr. Teich uses it a lot in the lectures, so that'll be good. Thank you all for joining me and for saying hello. I'm here to help you. I'm also the pre-med advisor, so if you ever just want to Zoom and chat and just get a different opinion about where you're going and how you're getting there, I'm more than welcome. More than happy to help you with that. And I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? So I think typically you're supposed to be in the lab for 1 hour. I'm sorry, 3 hours, and then you spend like 1 hour maybe writing it all up and stuff. So I don't think this course will take that many hours as it would typically when you're in the lab, because you get to watch the video, and I'm trying to make them all under 20 minutes. So right. But I'm really hoping that you spend the time thinking about the experiment. And I'd really like to ask that you, and I'm going to put this in somewhere in writing, in the potentially in that welcome packet, I'll add this, but at the end of your notebook, what I'd like you to reflect is, and I'll add this, but what do you think the most challenging part of the experiment was for physically doing it? Did I make any mistakes? Did you see anything that I might have like, oh, I forgot to do this or I forgot to do that? I won't always make mistakes, but sometimes I just, kind of whatever. And then I don't want to have to go redo the whole experiment and whatever. So if you catch any mistakes, definitely tell me that. And then the third part is, what if just watching me do the experiments, is there anything that you could, just watching me from like the big picture view, is there anything you could imagine that I could do better, different? And so those three things. What do you think the most challenging thing is? Did I make any mistakes, or my students? And what could be improved? And so I'll add that. And so that to me helps me think that you're actually really engaged with watching me do the experiment. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to go add that right now, upload the new document. Have any of you printed out that document already? You'll probably just use it online. Okay, so nobody's printed it and like have the old version. So, okay, good. Perfect. I'll go do that now. Okay, so on the very last day of class, which is Thursday, the 25th of June, I will send out a Google sheet and you can sign up for a time slot, or maybe I'll send you my Google Calendar. Everybody can sign up for a probably 20-minute, maybe half-hour time block on that last day for you to defend your answer to the 2 spec questions that are the final for this class. Okay? So other than that, I won't see you until then unless you meet me in office hours. Okay? You'll see me a lot though, because I'm going to be in all those videos. All right. Oh no, and I'll see you too, because you have to do 2 videos. So I'll send details about that. But there's 2 procedures. And what I'm thinking is maybe mix it up, and maybe I'll send a Google sheet around and you guys can sign up for the techniques that you want to. 3 to 5 minutes video, and you can just do it right on Zoom. Download Zoom. You can record right here and send me that, or your phone or whatever. You don't have to do anything except for just explain the technique. Okay, so I'll see you then, virtually, I guess. Good. All right, any questions? Trying to make it fun and informative. I hope I pull it off. I'll definitely ask you guys for feedback at the end of what I could do different, better. All right? All right, awesome. That's all I have. And I said it would be 45 minutes, and it's 43 minutes. So look at that. Nice
Thank
job,
you.
everybody. Good luck this
Thank you.
semester. And just know that
Thank
I'm here
you.
for you. You just have to email me, and yep, just email me and I'll meet in Zoom, even if it's not during my regularly scheduled times. Okay? Awesome.
you.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.